You know what's scary? Making a whole video and realizing you didn't hit record. But it's not as scary as seeing red worms under your skin and feeling like you just died. Howdy folks, G-Man here, and boy oh boy, you'll never believe it. I just did a whole story time video just to see that something went wrong and it didn't record. Wah, wah, wah. That's alright, I got love for y'all. I'm gonna keep it rolling, I'm gonna keep it rocking. Do it again. In fact, maybe it's a good thing so I can do it better this time. Alright, so this is going to be story time number 4, my insane, crazy first acid trip, only acid trip. Let's get into it. We've got the drink, my favorite too, Gatorade. So we got the drink. Check. We've got the vape. Check. We've got nice hair, nice clothes. Check. And that is unusual for story time. But you guys are getting a double header tonight. Well, I was thinking about it, but since I have to redo this one, I might actually wait to do the next video tomorrow. So, anyhow, I got all dressed up, anticipating doing tomorrow or Friday's video, which is going to be about fentanyl analogs, the dangers of using. Yeah, see guys, there's some funky stuff going on here. But anyways, the next video this week is going to be about fentanyl analogs and how to watch out for them and all of that. How you can get test kits, how you can get Narcan, all that kind of stuff. But today's video is a story time. I dressed up because I thought I'd be doing 2 videos, but I'm thinking I'm only going to do 1. I've got my equipment acting up on me, and yeah, it's getting late already, so let's just dive right in to my crazy one-time acid trip. Okay, so I had a girlfriend in high school. Her and her family had a large amount of oxy, and I was helping them get rid of them. And a couple of the guys would come and buy oxy from us in a big quantity, and then they would sell them and do whatever, and then once they've got more cash, they'd come back, yada, yada, yada. You know the deal. So, oxy wasn't the only thing that these gentlemen would sell. I bought my weed from one of these gentlemen. Quite a bit of it too. And sometimes we would just trade oxys for other drugs. Sometimes he would just buy oxys from us. Sometimes we would just buy drugs from him. And, you know, all this stuff happened almost 2 decades ago. So I'm not too worried about talking about it. I ain't gonna name drop. But yeah. Anyways. One day he tells us, hey, I've got some LSD, some acid, some real shit. Would you guys be interested in some? And my ex-girl's parents at the time were like, whoa, we haven't done that in like 20 years. We haven't been able to find it. And the gentleman says, yeah, I know, it's difficult to find, and, you know, I've got a decent chunk of some real stuff. So if you're interested, now would be the time, because I don't think I'm going to be able to get more, and I only have so much. So we immediately made a purchase of 20 hits, right? Me, my ex-girl, and her parents. Okay, so that night, Dad took 2, Mom took 1, girlfriend took 1, and I took 2. And we're sitting there hanging out, waiting to feel it. And eventually I was looking at the cat, and I was getting that feeling of like, wow, it's a cat. It's a part of life. It's a part of nature. Wow, right? And everybody else was kind of feeling it too. Nobody was feeling super powerful effects yet. And one thing I do remember is insisting with my chick that we go fuck and listen to Pink Floyd. And I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. Like I said, I was a dumb kid doing my thing. Thought I was cool because I was on acid having sex and listening to Pink Floyd. So, after we had sex, we go back in the living room, and I'm asking parents, hey, are you guys feeling it? And they said, yeah, we're kind of disappointed, whatever. That's why we only bought 20. We don't even want them. And I was like, what? So you don't mind if I just go balls to the walls? And they said, no, we don't mind. Just be careful. So me being the foolish 17 or 18-year-old young lad I was at the time, said, that sounds good. And I took about 10 to 12 hits. I don't remember exactly what the breakdown was. I just know that I took what was left. And I had already taken 2. So I had taken anywhere from like 12 to 14 hits, I believe. And that was probably not the brightest decision. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how it felt and what happened. So, keep in mind, I was already kind of feeling it a little bit. No visuals, no profound spiritual experience or anything. Just a little bit of that psychedelic groove, that, wow, we're all part of the life cycle, right? Right. And, we started watching Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke, I believe. And I was kind of chit-chatting with my girl at the time, and I remember seeing the shadow of the ceiling fan on the wall moving around kind of erratically. And believe it or not, it actually reminded me of a Benadryl trip, which was not what I was expecting at all. And I was looking at the shadow of the fan going apeshit on the wall, and something in me was telling me, buckle up, G-Man. We're going for a ride. We have liftoff. Because, oh my goodness. You'll have to excuse me because honestly my memory of this is a bit choppy and a bit hazy. But I remember being completely detached from reality, seeing nothing but full-blown, bright, vivid color vortexes. Almost like a Hollywood film, right? It wasn't like spirally, it wasn't like a fractal or whatever. But I remember seeing the most vivid and just the most profound green and yellow, almost like a stardust or universe, back, like in desktop, how they have the screensaver where it's like a space picture. It looked like that, but the colors were again that pine green, lime green, yellow, and all that in between. I was seeing flashes of purple lightning. And then I started seeing these gigantic orange balls just swaying and shifting and merging. And it was probably the most vivid colors I've ever seen in my life. To this day, I don't remember much about what was going on, but I remember the colors. And oh my God, it was so incredible. It was just crazy. It's almost like people who don't know drugs, what they think weed is like is kind of like what I was seeing, if that makes sense. And I remember telling my girlfriend at the time, oh my God, I know what they mean by tripping balls, because I am tripping balls. And eventually, thank God, the visuals toned down a bit. Not much, but enough to where I could talk to my girl and kind of hang out. And the scariest part of that whole experience, because I'll be honest, it wasn't scary. It was incredible. It felt great. But it did get very scary for a moment. At the time, we had a kitten, and I would, like to roughhouse with the cat, the kitten. So I had a lot of little scratch marks and bite marks and whatnot on my hands and forearms. And I remember watching the cuts and stuff move kind of on my hands and arms, and it was tripping me out. And I told my girl, I said, hey, there's like stuff moving on my skin. And keep in mind, she's tripping too. Not nearly as hard as me, but she is tripping. And she goes, oh my God, there's worms under your skin. There's red worms coming in and out of your skin. And when she said that, I literally just went on the couch. And I felt like I died. Okay? And I'm sure it was only 5 minutes, but it felt like eternity. I thought I died. And when I woke back up and came back through, I was like, oh my God, and like hugging my chick, like I thought I was dead. I thought I was never gonna get to hold you again or fuck you again. Oh my God. And she calmed me down. And then it went back to pretty happy-go-lucky, talking about crazy shit like humans are the cancer of the earth. And it was really, really intense. And it lasted so much longer than I had anticipated. Thank God I wasn't a complete dipshit. And I did have a whole weekend to recover. This was like my Friday night that we did it. I had 2 days to recover. Thank God. I don't think I came down until literally like 36 hours later. Didn't sleep, couldn't sleep, all over the place. But it wasn't really bad. It was interesting. It was kind of like shrooms in that once the novelty kind of wore off, I was like, okay, that was great, that was fun, but I'm ready for this to be over now, And I got lucky. I didn't have any lasting negative psychological or mental or emotional effects from it. Thank you God. I do know people who have permanently fried themselves. At my 18th birthday, a bunch of us took shrooms, very dumb, and the same girlfriend had the wonderful idea of putting on Evil Dead, the movie by Sam Raimi with Bruce Campbell. And, we'll talk about this in another video more in detail, but a dear friend of ours never came back from that, man. Real sad. He was an 18-year-old kid, real fit, good with the ladies, great personality, and this just fucked him, man. Just totally fucked him. I saw him a few years later. He was out of shape, couldn't hold eye contact, kept to himself. You know, sad. But anyways, I mentioned that because I don't want to downplay the dangers of using heavy psychedelics, because just because they're not, just because they probably won't directly kill you does not mean that they're safe, okay? A lot of people, I don't want to sound like a dare officer and spew a bunch of bullshit, but a lot of people think it's okay to drive on them. A lot of people think it's okay to, be on the tops of buildings checking shit out. And man, no, you've got to be careful with this stuff, guys, okay? If you're going to mess with psychedelics, start small, okay? Be in the right state of mind, all right? Always try that. Be in the right state of mind. Have a sitter, okay? Have somebody who's going to be sober, or maybe all they're doing is puffing a little herb or something. But somebody not tripping with you, okay? That's important. I would recommend having a long-acting benzodiazepine with you, like Valium or Librium, in case shit goes south and you need to knock yourself or a friend down because they're having a bad trip, okay? And I would also recommend that you do it in a safe, secure, comfortable location. Alright guys, the story time. Hopefully it was alright. I'm battling technical difficulties, but I've been saying this for a minute, but I'm finally caught up on bills. We're filing taxes this week. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a camera, and the laptop that I got will be set up with a charger, and I'm going to be setting up a little studio area. Not sure yet. I got to come up with some channel theme colors. You guys got any ideas? Drop them down there. What colors should our channel be? I'm thinking like black and like a limeish green with maybe like a medium blue or something like that. Or of course maybe just like black, red, white, something like that. Not sure. I'm thinking about hiring Mitch, Uncle Mitch over at Hard Intentions to make us a channel logo, right? I'm thinking like a skull with like a pompadour like your boy, maybe some spikes, and just a classic circular with like reflections of a junkie, with maybe like some skulls or some iron crosses, something like that. Not sure, got some prototypes. Maybe I'll flash them in the next video. Make sure you stay tuned. Don't miss the video on fentanylogs. This will be the last we're talking about non-opiate drugs for some time. So yeah, guys, if you're having trouble with opiate addiction and you have questions about methadone maintenance treatment, how long am I going to be sick? What over-the-counter meds should I pick up? What are some at-home remedies? When is it time to try methadone? Any of that kind of stuff, email me at reflectionsofajunkie@gmail.com. That's one word, no spaces. reflectionsofajunkie@gmail.com. Link will be down below. You can drop me a comment, shoot me an email. I respect privacy. And man, once this channel gets up and rolling, we're going to actually have a dedicated phone line that you can text or call with your questions. Also, interviews will be starting mid-March. Got a homeboy, Chris, knew him from Opiophile. He said he'd be honored to be on. I'm thinking he's going to be numero uno, guest number 1, and I'm hoping to start filming with guests in mid-March and start uploading those one a week or one every 2 weeks, I'm thinking, depending on how many people are interested in it. Coming at you starting in April. Alright guys, G-Man logging out before any other technical mishaps happen. Have a great night.